everybody, welcome back to Happy Bake Day, where every day is a happy bake day. Let me be the very first to wish you a happy Valentine's Day. I hope your buffalo chicken phyllo cups from last week turned out wonderful. If you missed that episode, you can check it out right here. Today, in honor of Valentine's Day, we're going to be making something really special. We're going to be making chocolate-covered strawberry flavored whoopie pies with beautiful chocolate cakes, and the middle is going to be a delicious strawberry fluff. We're going to make this in two different parts. Part one is going to be the strawberry fluff, and then part two is going to be the cakes. Now for your strawberry fluff, you're going to need the following ingredients. 34 grams of freeze-dried strawberries, 1/3 cup of water, 3/4 cup of granulated sugar, 3/4 cup of light corn syrup, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 4 ounces of fresh egg whites, half a teaspoon cream of tartar, and a pinch of salt. Our first step is to put our freeze-dried strawberries into a food processor, and you're going to pulse until they turn into a really fine powder. Then you can put it back into your bowl and set it aside.
Right where you are, you're sitting in an electrical matrix of energy beyond belief, or most human conception. You'd be surprised to know how much knowledge and communication can be carried on its wave.
The next step is kind of 2 steps in one. We're actually going to be moving to the stove for the first part. I've moved over my sugar, my corn syrup, the vanilla, and the water. You're going to combine them all into a small saucepan on your stove, and you're going to heat it over medium to medium-high heat, and you're going to use a thermometer to get it to 240 degrees. Now while that's heating up, we'll be using our stand mixer. You'll add your egg whites and you'll start whipping them on medium speed until they start getting beautiful and foamy. Then you'll slowly add in your cream of tartar and salt, and again you'll continue to whisk it, and after that you'll add your strawberry powder, and you only want to whisk all of this so that soft peaks form. So unlike making a meringue where you want really stiff peaks, these peaks will be soft so that when you take your whisk out, the peaks will actually just kind of flop right back over, which is perfect. Once you get those soft peaks, if your stuff on your stove is still heating up, then pause your stand mixer and wait until your mixture on your stove has been heated. Then we will move on to the next step. Our strawberry and egg mixture is done and still sitting in our stand mixer. My sugar and corn syrup mixture here on the stove is heating up. We're almost there. Now, as soon as it reaches 240 degrees, what we'll do is we'll take it off the stove and you'll let it rest on your counter for 20 seconds. I know that sounds short, but keep it at 20 seconds. Then what you'll do is you're going to turn your stand mixer back on to medium-low speed, and you're going to very slowly add in the warm sugar corn syrup mixture into your stand mixer. And once it's fully been added, then you're going to increase your speed to high, and you're going to mix it in your stand mixer for about 5 minutes. And with that, our strawberry marshmallow fluff is done and ready to be used. As you can see, it is getting a little late here. What I'm going to do is put my strawberry fluff in an airtight container and put it in my refrigerator until I'm ready to bake the little cakes, which will be tomorrow. So your marshmallow fluff can be stored in your refrigerator, and whenever you're ready to use it, just pull it out and let it come up to room temperature. about 30 minutes or so, and then it's going to be ready to be piped into your little cake sandwiches to make that beautiful whoopie pie. Until tomorrow, have a good night. Hi everybody, welcome back. Today is the second part of making our whoopie pies. Yesterday we made the strawberry marshmallow fluff, and today we're going to be making the chocolate cookie cakes that are the top and bottom of the whoopie pies. You're going to need the following ingredients for your little chocolate cookie cakes. 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cup of unsalted butter, room temperature, 1 cup granulated sugar, 2/3 cup of cocoa powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of instant espresso powder, 1 large egg at room temperature, 1/2 cup of buttermilk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1/4 cup of hot water. Our first step is to preheat our oven to 375 degrees. Our next step is to sift together some of our dry ingredients. I have a large mixing bowl and a sifter here. We're going to add in everything except for the sugar and the espresso powder. Leave your sugar off to the side, but after you sift together your ingredients into the mixing bowl, then you'll add your espresso powder and stir it with either a fork or a whisk. I put my bowl with the dry mixed ingredients off to the side, and I've brought out a smaller mixing bowl. We're going to add the buttermilk, the egg, and the vanilla into this mixing bowl. We're going to whisk it till the egg is fully broken up and everything's really well combined, and then we will put this bowl off to the side as well. I pulled out my stand mixer and I added my paddle attachment. Next, what you're going to do is add all of your butter into the bowl of your stand mixer and start mixing on a medium speed. You'll see your butter start to get nice and creamy. Then you'll add in your butter and you'll mix again until everything is really light and fluffy and well combined. After that, what you'll do is you'll slowly start adding in your dry mixture and your wet mixture. You'll alternate, starting with your dry mixture, a little bit of that, a little bit of the wet, a little bit of the dry, a little bit of the wet until everything's combined. And then at the very last step, you'll add in your hot water and mix until everything is just combined. Our batter is done and it is beautiful and chocolatey and it smells fantastic. I have brought out a cookie scoop and I've also lined 2 baking trays with parchment paper. Scoop the batter from your bowl right onto your baking trays on top of the parchment paper. Leave about 2 inches of space in between each of the cookies. They will spread a little bit, and so you want to make sure that when they cook, they don't accidentally combine together. Feel free to round out the tops a little bit with your fingers if needed, if you find that they're a little bit lumpy after you move them onto your baking tray. And then they will be ready for baking. You're going to bake them for 8 to 10 minutes or so, or until when you touch them on the top they spring back. Or you can also use a cake tester right in the center to make sure that they are fully cooked. Once they are finished baking, pull them out of your oven and let them cool on a wire rack completely. You need to make sure they're fully room temperature before we pipe in our marshmallow fluff. chocolate cookie cake tops for our whoopie pies are done and out of the oven. I have mine on a wire rack. I did choose to add a layer of parchment paper underneath them just to help with the cooling process and to help reduce indentations on the tops. You don't have to do that, completely optional. I did also take out my strawberry marshmallow fluff from my refrigerator that we made yesterday. It's been sitting on my counter for about 30 minutes to come up to room temperature so that we can use it here in our whoopie pies. What I did after my pies came out of the oven to cool down, I chose to match up the tops to get some that are similar in size. If you remember our chocolate macaron episode, it was just like that. If you missed it, you can actually check it out right here. And so it just will make it a lot easier after I pipe in my marshmallow fluff that I know I have a matching top or similar in size top and bottom for my whoopie pies. I did bring out a large container and a piping bag, as well as a piping, it's not really a piping tip, usually you would screw your tip into it, but I did pull this out just to help keep the marshmallow fluff as we pipe it stable, in like a stable shape. If you don't have one of these, this is okay. Again, in the past, I mentioned you can actually clip the corner of a zip top bag and use that for piping. That will work just as well here. You're going to be piping it in one big dollop, so you're not going to do anything fancy. You don't need any fancy piping tips. So what we'll do is I'm going to put my piping bag into my container, drape it over the sides, and then transfer my marshmallow fluff from my Tupperware container into my piping bag. And then we're gonna pipe one big dollop in the center of each of these and then cover it with our top. And with that, our chocolate covered strawberry flavored whoopie pies are done. I don't know about you, but piping my strawberry fluff was a little difficult using my piping bag. So I think next time I would actually recommend using a zip top bag with the corner cut. I think that'll make it a lot easier getting your marshmallow fluff out. But in any case, these are beautiful. I love the contrast of the pink fluff and the dark chocolate tops. They're going to be so good and perfect for Valentine's Day, I think. Thank you so much for joining me today while we made these beautiful whoopie pies. I hope you have a very happy Valentine's Day. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you had fun baking with me today. I appreciate each and every subscriber as you join me on this journey from banker to baker. You can also follow us on social media or visit our website for this and all of our other fun recipes. Until next time, I hope you have a very happy bake day.